Time for more XCOM. Last time we attacked a secret alien base and found a super mysterious humanoid thing that we've now taken back with us and we'll have to investigate. Then we pretended to do a supply raid mission just to get Central off our backs, and then we immediately left once the battle started because it was way too hard. Next we've got another story mission in store. We need to attack the location given to us by the codex that we captured, a location that we presume is in some way very important to the aliens' overall command structure. So we start moving towards said location, and as you might expect, there are a few aliens wandering about in the way. So here's the first pod we'll have to deal with: 2 mechs, a shield bearer, a troop, and a codex. Obviously we're going to start things off with a grenade because there is no better way. These enemies were all nice and bunched up. We kill the shield bearer immediately, get loads of damage and loads of armor removed across the rest of them, and now the fighting can start. The codex will clone with a decent amount of its health left, and it's off to our flank, but we can still get it quite easily. The first codex remained out of cover rather than scattering away, so that was nice. We could easily get some hits in there, and Erikamani brings it down. Next it was time for Prole Hunter to use Chain Shot. This allows him to take multiple shots against the main opponent here, the heavy mech. That's the one that can do the most damage to us. He gets both of his hits and it goes right down, so that's very good. Now we're going to use Big Boy to throw a grenade at the other codex in the flanking position, and that takes it down. Just a troop and the regular mech left after that. Masako moved up to shoot at the regular mech, had a 100% chance to hit. There we go, no issues there. She also took a hair trigger shot at the trooper and missed, and then Kajiro takes a shot at the trooper and gets the hit. So that's the first pod, just completely wiped out, no problems whatsoever. Our little bit of high ground there probably helped out quite a bit. Now the chosen warlock decides to spawn in to try and stop us reaching the mysterious critical thing on this map, but as we've seen before, the warlock isn't especially dangerous, so he may have some trouble doing that. As usual, he kicks things off by throwing a couple of spectral zombies at us, but we'd had an uneventful turn of just shuffling around, so everyone was on Overwatch and were well able to attack these zombies. That one disappeared for a second, then came back to be killed by Prole Hunter, and the Chosen over the radio says that he didn't really expect those zombies to do anything anyway, so a case of sour grapes it seems. Then some Lost spawn. We've got the debuff, the dark event at the moment, that means the Lost can spawn on any mission, which means they're just spawning all the time now, and it's pretty annoying. So I shot the Lost, and now skipping ahead, we discovered some more enemies just beyond where we were. Another pod. We've got a trooper and a mech in our line of sight. Erikamani uses run and gun to move up to outflank the trooper and get rid of it. Next it was the alien's turn, and the mech fired its guaranteed damage mortar at Erikamani, but he has that untouchable perk that we saw coming into effect last time as well, that means he doesn't take any damage. Then our whole squad can just rain fire on that mech, and Prole Hunter was the one to eventually bring it down. There's also a purifier that's moved up, and there's a shield bearer somewhere just out of our line of sight. Erikamani throws a grenade forwards to get rid of the cover on that purifier, but of course because we're creating explosions, that means that more Lost are going to spawn, and this is pretty annoying because, as you may have realised, I love using grenades, and with this dark event we get attacked by Lost all the time when we use grenades. So I'm going to have to just slog through them, and fortunately for you, that can all be cut out. Now Masako moves up to kill the purifier, and I was very lucky there. We criticaled it at point blank range. It could have exploded and hit me. I was being very careless, but fortunately it didn't. I don't really know what the probability of them exploding is. It seems to happen quite a lot, so got away with it there. Now we've spotted the shield bearer that we're after here. Kajiro could almost kill it, but didn't have the best chance to hit, so I wanted to remove this guy's cover. We've got a grenade that can just about get into range to get rid of the cover. Does mean that yet more Lost will be on the way, but I've decided I'm not going to change my life just to deal with the Lost. I'm going to still blow things up, and if the Lost want to get shot by me, so be it. So that was the end of that shield bearer with the kill from WotC. That's the second pod dealt with. Ahead of us there was another cliff edge, and advancing up to it allowed us to see a couple of chrysalids down there, so they're going to be the next enemies we have to face. Two of them started running towards Arakamani and went out of our line of sight, but I thought they were somewhere just there, so I'll throw a grenade in and try and get some damage. I'm pretty sure I did get some damage on at least one of them here. There was a little bit of a noise when it hit them, suggesting they were making a impact sound effect. Anyway, that caused more loss to spawn, of course, so we'll deal with them in due course. The chrysalids tried to climb up onto our cliffs, but we've got everyone just sitting here on Overwatch, so we're able to gun them down, although with a few misses along the way, not the best Overwatches. This other one's definitely been hit by that grenade by the looks of things. He comes up, Troll Hunter is going to go for it, but apparently that chrysalid was a member of the bourgeoisie, since all the shots missed, even though it looked like they hit, and the others decide to bring him down instead. Good news, now we just need to shuffle up a little bit further and see what else we can see. There were a couple more chrysalids down there. Arakamani starts damaging one there, but we can't always get a one-hit kill, which is annoying. They're impaired by tactical analysis. That means they can't really run at us, but instead they actually use their turn to attack some Lost who are also apparently down there, so that's very nice. The Lost are now coming in useful. They're actually blocking potential aggressive moves against us, and then in the Lost turn they prove their worth even more. They start slapping the chrysalids up, doing a whole load of damage there with a double attack. This Lost actually kills a chrysalid, which is actually a bit annoying because it's stealing our XP, but I'm still proud of the Lost to have come this far, although not proud enough to not just kill them all. So we'll have to go look over the cliff edge and shoot everyone, probably with a 100% chance to hit every time. Then as I moved up, we could actually aggro in a couple more chrysalids from up here. 4 more to be precise. I think there are actually 6 because there are 2 more in those pods behind that we just can't see. So a whole load of chrysalids come at us. I used Troll Hunter's acid grenade to try and damage these guys without spawning Lost, getting a whole load of damage, killing 2 thanks to damage also done by some Overwatch shots. But the acid grenade also does spawn the Lost, so more Lost on the way and more chrysalids on the way, and as they run at us, we're just going to stay here up on the cliff so we have bonus chance to hit all the time, and we're just gunning them all down, and soon we've killed everything that we can in this area. I send Arakamani forwards to climb up onto this rock ahead of us and see what he can see, and he sees not only a few chrysalids but this giant portal, and that's our real objective here. This is a portal that is connected into the aliens' infrastructure in some way, and they can pull units through it, as we'll see later on. For now though, the Chosen was also standing around the portal, so we need to fight him. He uses some psychic abilities to take Arakamani out of the fight. Now he's dazed, and that's annoying because Arakamani was in the best position to attack the nearby chrysalids. GhostDevin had a 100% chance to hit the Chosen, even though he was in heavy cover. Not quite sure how we're getting away with this, but we get it, and we even get a critical. A fantastic start. That's half his health gone already. Big Boy takes out one of the chrysalids with another skilled snipe. Then Yoshiaki reaches for the grenades, does a crazy trick shot, and we get a plasma grenade onto the Chosen, and this Chosen takes double damage from explosives, so he dies immediately. I was being careful there to try not to shoot at the gate, because this is the objective. We need to capture it and examine it rather than destroy it, but I think it's actually not destructible because that would break the game. But anyway, we continue moving on, and here Masako actually gets too close to the gate. There's a scripted event, which is when you're close enough to have your soldiers technically be able to see it or have it be in range of their weapons or something. It spawns the Gatekeeper. This is a late game enemy that it throws at you now as a sort of boss. You can see it's got tons of armor and tons of health, so actually doing damage to it, let alone killing it, is fairly difficult. Arakamani gets started and his 10 damage is demoted to 4 there, so that's really slowing things down. Another miss from Overwatch, not very nice, and it floats up to be right in front of us. I had a couple of operatives still able to take actions this turn. I think I hit it with a grenade, which did a bit of damage. Kojiro gets a miss that does 1 damage there, so we've ended up getting it down close to half health, but still it is going to be able to attack us. Troll Hunter is in a good position to shoot, but this thing counts as being in cover all the time, so he didn't have good chance to hit, and I ended up using a grenade just to guarantee some damage and remove some armor, spawning yet more Lost. A chrysalid moves up and attacks Masako, getting a hit and giving her chrysalid poison. This means if she dies, she will spawn into more chrysalids after a couple of turns. Arakamani avoids the same fate. Now it's the gatekeeper's turn, and in my experience they always do this on their first turn. They use Gateway, the most powerful attack in the game, I think. It's a huge area of effect, guaranteed damage move. Masako is down to 1 health. She could have died from that. It can do 8 or 7 damage, and it did 7, so she survived with 1 health. It also happens to reanimate a few dead enemies within the area of effect. Luckily it reanimates a load of Lost who aren't as dangerous as the chrysalids. Maybe the chrysalids can't be reanimated, and a load more regular Lost are on the way into the battle at the back there. Now, to get us out of this moderately dangerous situation, I'm going to use Kojiro's Face Off. This is an ability that shoots your pistol at everything that you can see, and because there are Lost and chrysalids all over the place, Kojiro could see a lot of stuff, so he's going to start shooting, and he gets a whole load of hits. All of the Lost that were resurrected are killed. He killed a Lost at the back, damaged some of the chrysalids, and damaged the gatekeeper. That gatekeeper's now on the verge of death, thanks to the damage we already did to it as well. Another plasma grenade is what we need to guarantee we can get rid of the gatekeeper here, and we can also happen to hit those 2 Lost and chrysalid at the same time, so might as well. Pearl Hunter takes that shot, and this is going to bring the enemy's numbers down to just 1, just the chrysalid next to Arakamani. The Lost don't count as enemies for the purposes of checking the victory condition in the mission, so while there were a load of Lost off in the distance, shooting this chrysalid will now complete things. So that's all good. We just about got away without any casualties. Masako somehow surviving there. Just good luck, really. We did pick up a load of promotions in the mission as well, which is very nice, and we've now got lots of people being promoted up to Colonel rank, the max rank, so we can put a very elite squad out at this point, which we will need for the end game, of course. Because XCOM are crazy, we've taken this psionic gate back into our base, despite the fact we know it can spawn enemy troops. Luckily, we and the aliens didn't think of using it for any such purpose, so it's just going to sit in our supplies storage for a bit, and eventually we're going to hook it up to our research devices to use it in a story event later on. The next mission that comes up is one for the skirmishers. They want us to extract a scientist and her guard, a sharpshooter, from a Lost-infested town, and we'll get to keep both if we do this, which is a pretty good incentive to do what is a very boring looking mission, since this is pretty much the best reward setup you could hope for from a mission. So I sent in a team of mostly our lesser soldiers, since all of the main ones are tired at the moment, and it is just going to be one of these Lost missions. We'll have to hack our way around the corner to pick up the scientist and her already unconscious bodyguard, who are currently being protected by a car with a gun on it that's just doing its own thing at the moment. Means you have a time limit to get there before the ammunition runs out, but that was no problem. So we go around this corner, we get control of the scientist so we can just make her run away. As for the guard, we can pick her up, and this is the condition to get her as the reward for the quest. You have to actually take her back. We need to extract at the same place we came in, so then it was just a case of backtracking, and we had to shoot some more Lost, as you might imagine, but nothing really came of that. The Lost aren't much of a threat, especially in open maps where they're unlikely to get close to you without just being shot to pieces. There we go, we extracted. All nice, flawless mission, very easy, just took a long time to actually do it. Now some more important developments. We finished our initial research into the humanoid thing that we recovered from the alien base, and it seems to indicate that the aliens are combining human DNA with DNA taken from the other species in their collective, like the things that we fight on a mission-to-mission basis, in order to try and create something new, perhaps a new super soldier variant. But the interesting factor is that this creature they're creating also has intense psychic powers. Many of the aliens also have these, but they've made a human version of their alien soldiers with psychic powers. At the moment we don't know why they're doing this or whether this really constitutes a threat, but this is what the Avatar project is, and the aliens are making a big deal about it, so we're going to presume that this is a big deal in some way. We just don't really know yet, and that's pretty much how our analysis concludes. We'll just keep looking into it as much as we can. We've got a bit of a problem at the moment though. The enemy have decided to actually bother looking for us in a rare twist. They've sent a UFO to find our flagship, the Avenger, and just stop us from going on all of our missions, and indeed it discovers us immediately. So they come up and start shooting at us, and we don't have any weapons, I presume, so we can't do anything about it. We just have to get hit, and indeed there we go. Now what they fired at us was actually just an EMP, so we don't get blown up or anything. We're just now in free fall and we're going to die. Nose diving by the looks of things, but meanwhile on the inside things are a bit more calm. I guess they couldn't be bothered to do a free fall sequence where it would be 0G or something. Our chief engineer hacks the circuits back into working order somehow, and we get the engines back on for a smooth landing. But where we land, there happens to also be another EMP generator, so the aliens were prepared for this. So now we need to go outside and take out the EMP generator before we can take off again. This gives us a special mission where we're not allowed to let the aliens get into the Avenger, because we're going to sit here with the door open effectively for no particular reason, and if the aliens go inside we'll be in trouble. So we have to both defend the door and go and blow up this thing. There were a few mutons just outside the door, so let's get the fighting started. Prole Hunter gives us a plasma grenade that kills one of them, damages two more, and removes their cover. All good stuff, so obviously we can easily take out the rest there. The Codex was the main annoying enemy because it refused to get hit with a critical effectively. I thought I'd get that crit with Narco to kill it, but no, it is going to clone itself. At least it's only on 2 health. Although that clone is going to be annoying in a moment, as we'll see. I got Crotch to fire at the original Codex to take it out. That was no problem. Now it's the aliens' turn. Some more aliens show up off to our right on top of this petrol station. A few regular troops and another muton there by the looks of things. Nothing too special. They probably should have prepared a bigger ambush. Presumably they thought we were going to land here since they set up the EMP. I'm not sure. Anyway, the Codex runs for it and goes for the ramp, and it actually gets right in front of it just before Joss Arton takes it down with an Overwatch. So it's lucky that I had that, because I might have failed the mission if no one was on Overwatch and it just ran past me there. Not really sure how it works, and I guess we'll never find out. The Muton puts Crotch under suppression there, but all we need to do is damage him to get rid of that, so that's not the end of the world. A special feature to this mission is that you'll gradually go up from 6 party members to 8. Normally I have the game modded so you have 8 anyway, so this is actually a downside rather than a good side to make this mission easier. It makes it a little bit harder. Constantinus is coming out of retirement as a result of this mechanic. He was on holiday due to his psychological trauma, but he's going in for another fight now. He just has really low willpower, so any psychic attacks against him will probably work. Still though, for now, his grenade launcher will do the talking. A grenade goes forwards, kills 2 soldiers, blows up a car that damages the Muton and prevents him from suppressing Crotch. All good stuff, but of course, more lost are on the way as a result. Soon enough, we've shot them all. There's Crotch getting the last one there. He also can take a shot against this heavy lancer who was hiding up in the corner of that roof, and we get a hit there. Wasn't the best chance, so nice one, Crotch. That's all the enemies around us taken care of, but some more enemies aggroed in on their turn as they approached us. It's a Spectre and 4 Codexes, but with the Codex's ability to clone itself, we're potentially fighting 8 Codexes here, so that's actually quite a few. The Spectre didn't last long because it wasn't in cover that was facing us, so we had nice easy shots and just took it down. Constantinus tries to use a saturation fire against 2 of the Codexes, but only kills 1. The other one lost its cover, so that's nice, we can use that later on. Prole Hunter gets a hit on another Codex. That one's going to now clone itself with only 2 health, so that's not too bad. And Kojiro used Lightning Hands to actually shoot the 2 health clone. So since Lightning Hands doesn't cost an action, we effectively just got rid of the clone. Now he can take a look out and see what there is to see out there. I wanted to try and get a hit on the exposed Codex who had no cover. We get a miss, but his weapon upgrade that makes his misses do damage means that now it is going to clone itself, only with nearly full health. So it would have been better to have just a straight up miss there. That's unfortunate. At least we do have Spooky Sam here on this mission, so he can clear up everyone else's mess, as he always does. First, we kill the codex that Kojiro missed. I used the serial ability. That means actions that get kills don't cost an action point, so I can keep shooting, and my second shot kills another codex. Then I put him on Overwatch, another codex runs in, and the Overwatch gets a hit and a kill. So very good, he's just taken out 3 of them. That's going to make our life easier. There's still one left at the back. It teleports forwards, and now it can use Psionic Bomb, disabling 3 of our operatives for a turn. That is rather annoying, nothing we can do though. Now Spawn Seeker joins the fight as our 8th party member at the back. Constantinus kills the codex, although I had already thrown a grenade to get rid of its cover in order to get that shot, so there is now another clone somewhere. We'll take it out later on. Now I'm going to move Nariko up to try and get closer to the device, and as we do, we discover there are loads of aliens defending it right here, and one of the pods aggroes in. It's an Archon and 2 sectoids. At least the thing, the EMP generator, is now within visual range. That will allow us to hit it with squad sight later on. Nariko annihilates the final chosen there with a nice outflanking shot. Spawn Seeker already had an outflanking shot on one of the sectoids, and because he has that perk that gives him a really high chance to hit while hidden, you can hit it at a very long range. So there we go, that's one sectoid down. Constantinus uses Hail of Bullets to guarantee some damage onto the Archon to get our killing of that guy started. Now I'm going to use Deadeye with Spooky Sam against the EMP generator. That's a move that reduces your chance to hit but increases damage, but as we've seen before, attacking environmental objects means you always get a hit, so that's just some free extra damage. Not that we really needed it. Kojiro blows it up with his squad side attack, and there we go, we've completed the mission. This isn't a mission where you have to kill all the enemies to succeed. Now we just have to leave. Since the aliens are a little bit concerned with XCOM's operations, they're going to throw 3 more guys in to see if that'll stop us. It's a mech, a priest, and a stun lancer, and they actually fell down right in front of where Crotch was currently standing, and just in front of where Joss was as well, up on that roof to the left. So we'll get some immediate overwatches. Both of them fire at the priest, and together they kill it, so no annoying stasis from that priest where it will just come back to life later. He's definitely dead. Now the stun lancer runs at Crotch, and he overwatches it again. He has the Guardian perk, which means there's a 50% chance that when you take an Overwatch shot, you'll get another one afterwards, and because of that, he kills the Lancer, presumably before he would have got hit, so that was very nice. This Archon takes a long-range shot at Spawn Seeker and hits it. He loses most of his health, he's down to 2 health I think, but still alive. And the sectoid is going to use its psychic powers to raise a zombie right next to us, but that's not that much of a threat. Constantinus, on his way back to the ship, turns around and gets rid of the zombie, not that we really needed to there. Now as for Crotch and Joss, we don't have enough movement to run back to the ship, so we need to fight the robot for this turn, so I'm just going to make a small move and start damaging it, but thanks to its 3 armor, we can't do an enormous amount of damage, and even with both of them attacking it in the same turn, it's not enough to kill it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Didn't want to run away with Joss or anything here and just leave Crotch on his own, although that might have been fine since Crotch was probably okay to hide in the corner. He wouldn't have died in one hit, I don't think. The Archon tries to charge us, Nariko pops up with the miss, and Spooky Sam pops up with the hit because he knows what he's doing. Then the Archon gets stuck humping a tree at the back there or something, and Kojiro takes the opportunity to miss it, but in such a way that it somehow does some damage and it dies. So that all went surprisingly well. Then the other sectoid sprints at us and Pro Hunter pops up to say no to that. That sectoid clearly wasn't carrying very much money. That leaves only the mech, and he is going to jump up onto the roof here with Joss, but he's not attacking Joss or Crotch. He's coming over here to attack our members over by the Avenger. We've got Pro Hunter and Constantinus next to each other, so he uses the mortar attack. Pro Hunter doesn't get damaged because he also has the untouchable trait like Arakamani. That means he's invincible after getting a kill, but Constantinus takes a bit of damage, but since he's on holiday, that's okay. He can just spend his holiday now in a hospital bed. Joss deals with the robot, and then everyone else can extract safely. The rest of the enemies on the map weren't aggroed in. Crotch's gremlin bot there flew off into space for a second, didn't think it knows where it's going. So all very good, we've escaped the alien's trap, and as long as they don't think of just shooting us again, which hopefully they won't, we'll be fine to go on another mission next time, so I hope you'll join me for that.